What's up everybody, this is Master Ian Gamer. More and more nations are jumping on board the global conquest to one day ban gaming loot boxes. The brand new Replica Genji sword is now available for pre-order, and we've gotten the first look at another one of the exclusive Halloween Terror Funko Pop figures. All of this and more in today's Overwatch news update, so without further ado, let's jump right on in. So first up, following Belgium's investigation into gaming loot boxes, and ultimately its determination that they are in fact a form of illegal gambling, 15 other European nations, as well as the US state of Washington, have grouped together in a collaborative effort to further investigate, thus possibly resulting in the eventual ban of loot boxes in each of these regions as well. I'll show a list on screen of all the nations involved in this collaborative effort, and while the investigation is still currently ongoing, personally, I'm betting that all of them are going to end up going the route of Belgium, and this could be the next major step towards the global ban of loot boxes. Now, I'm sure there are plenty of people who are really excited to hear that loot boxes are going to be going away, or at the very least heavily regulated to the point that gaming companies can't use them to prey on their customers, but it certainly raises quite a few questions about what we'll see happen to a game like Overwatch. Overwatch does have what is commonly considered to be one of the nicer loot box systems out there, however, it will still likely end up being deemed a form of illegal gambling. Now, one possibility that could end up resulting out of this is that Blizzard will just be forced to say publicly that the game does involve loot box based microtransactions, and they may even have to give it an M rating simply because it contains a form of gambling. Admittedly, I'm not too sure how this would end up playing out. A very large portion of the Overwatch player base is younger players who are under the legal age for gambling, but then again, it seems like there are already so many games these days where kids can just get a hold of them, either through their parents or just by faking their age, to the point that I wonder if it would even really matter. However, if Blizzard were to decide not to go through with this kind of measure, then the alternative seems like they would have to just flat out remove the loot boxes, at least when it comes to what you can purchase with real money. Honestly, this is a topic that I have quite a bit to say about, and I'd rather save the rest of this discussion for its own future video where I can go much more in depth and focus more on the possible outcomes that we could be seeing from this whole situation. But for the time being, the important thing to note is that what we've seen happen in Belgium so far is most likely going to be happening with more and more nations as time goes on. There's no way to know for sure what the outcome will be at this point in time, but I am willing to bet that pretty soon, within the next couple years, we may see a global ban on loot boxes, or at least governments being able to regulate them to the point that companies won't even try to utilize them as a source of revenue. It sounds like this kind of future could possibly be quite bright, but again, you never know, we'll just have to wait and see. But moving on now to a much more lighter topic, the new Overwatch Ultimate Genji sword was recently put up on the official Blizzard website and is available for pre-order. Now, we did of course already get some images of this thanks to a leak that happened I think a couple weeks ago, but now we have the official price and full details. The sword will cost $200 US, which is by no means cheap. However, it is life-sized and features LED lights so it can light up in the dark, as well as sound effects for activating Genji's ultimate, and even motion-activated sound effects for when you swing it around. Additionally, it comes with a very cool sheath and sword stand, which overall looks like a very awesome display piece. Personally, I think I'm gonna have to pass on this one as I don't really play Genji, and also it is quite expensive, but for those of you who are big Genji fans or simply like collectible items like this, I gotta say, this is probably gonna be one that you don't want to pass up. I'll include a link to the store where you can pre-order it down in the description. And keeping with the merchandise theme, we now have our first look at the Junkenstein Junkrat skin Funko Pop, which will become available very soon. Now, I mentioned this in one of my previous videos when we saw an image of the Junkenstein's monster Roadhog Funko Pop, but now we have an image of both members of this iconic Halloween duo. The Junkenstein Funko Pop will only be available at Box Lunch, and the Junkenstein Monster one will only be available at Hot Topic. However, I'm sure you can find them available online from places like eBay or maybe even Amazon. I gotta say, it does look pretty nice, and I'm certainly interested to see what other sort of event-exclusive legendary skins we could end up seeing in Funko Pop form. According to the leak I talked about in my previous video, it does seem like currently the only special event skins we're going to be getting are Junkenstein and Junkenstein's monster, but that doesn't mean that later down the line we won't be getting more for other events such as Winter Wonderland or Summer Games. But anyways, that'll do it for today's Overwatch news update. Be sure to let me know your thoughts about anything I talked about here today down in the comments below. Are you interested in getting either of these two new Overwatch merchandise? Or what are your thoughts on this whole gaming loot box situation? Regardless, be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video and share it with a friend if you really liked it. Subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and turn on notifications to both help out my channel and keep up with all my future Overwatch content. This is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.